You remember this little guy? I made a video on it a while back. It's the Insta360 Link. It was easily my favorite webcam for many reasons. That is until now. These are Insta360's new webcams and they are awesome. This is the Link 2 and this is the Link 2C. Let's take a look at what you get inside the box. The unboxing experience is pretty much the same for both cameras, so I'm just going to throw up a side-by-side here. Now, the first thing you're going to see is the cameras themselves, the 2 and the 2C. This is followed by the magnetic mount that you'll be using to attach to your monitor or your laptop. It also tilts forward. Next up, you'll get your basic literature, like warranty information, instructions, as well as some Insta360 stickers. You'll also find the recognition markers inside with the paperwork. These are used for the whiteboard mode, which we'll be talking about later on in the video. Then you're going to find a long USB-C to USB-C cable. This is used for connecting the camera to your computer. And if you want to use Type A instead of Type C for that connection, they've included an adapter as well. And that pretty much wraps up the unboxing experience for both of these cameras. Now, as far as specs go, they're both identical. You can take a look at those specs right here. Feel free to pause the video if you want to. The difference between them is that the Link 2 has a gimbal and the Link 2C does not. Now, having that gimbal does come with its own set of benefits. For instance, you're going to get better AI tracking with a wider range of motion. So then you might be wondering, what does the C stand for? Well, it stands for compact or classic. This is a more traditional style webcam, and it's also way easier to travel with. You could detach it from the magnetic base here. That could fit into a bag much easier. Also, if you put both of these in a bag, one's gonna move around a lot more than the other. On paper, the Link 1 is very similar to the Link 2 and 2C. Both support 4K and both have half-inch sensors, but the Link 2 series have a lot more AI-driven features to them. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's been improved as well as what's new. Let's start off with image quality. Here's a quick look at the image quality on the Link 2 and the Link 2C, and you can see the dynamic range is incredible. This is with HDR mode turned on. It's in the middle of the day in Florida, super bright outside, and you can see clear out my back door. That's nuts. So the image quality is outstanding. I'm also using the voice focus audio mode. I'll test the other two audio modes out later in the video, but so far I'm very happy with the new Links. And the image quality between the 2 and 2C is identical. The Link 2 and 2C both support true focus. This is Insta360's focusing system. It's based on phase detection, which is a great system. It's perfect for showcasing objects or tracking faces. So if you're a live streamer and you tend to do unboxings or showcase items, this is going to be perfect for you. Now, when you combine True Focus with the natural Bokeh mode inside the Link controller app, you can get DSLR looking footage. It's very natural and overall, it's very impressive. Now let's talk about something new that has to do with audio. So Insta360 is using AI in order to improve the audio quality on the Link 2 and 2C. They call it AI noise canceling, and they have 3 different modes. You can easily switch to the different modes inside the Link controller app. Those modes are voice focus.
Yeah.
So right now I'm using the voice focus mode, so you should be able to hear my wife's conversation behind me. Voice suppression. So now we're using voice suppression, and as she has her conversation, you shouldn't be able to hear it. You should only hear my voice. So this is a pretty neat feature. This is great if you have a very busy household like I do. And music balance. Right now I'm using voice focus, so my voice is more isolated from the background. You could barely hear the music, but what if you wanted to hear a little bit of it? Well, let's switch over to music balance, and now you should have a more balanced sound signature, balancing my voice with the background music. This could be good for gamers or streamers that tend to have music going on in the background. Just like the Link 1, the Link 2 supports tracking. However, it's been improved with AI, and now we get even better tracking when it comes to a single person or group tracking. It also supports gestures, so you can hold up a palm to start and stop tracking. You can hold up an L and then push your hand up to zoom in, or hold up an L and bring your hand down to zoom out. Now inside the Link controller app, you can adjust and fine tune some settings. For instance, you can adjust the tracking speed. You can also customize the framing, so whether or not you just want your head, or your half body, or your full body. If you do plan on using that group tracking mode, you need to enable it inside the Link controller app, and Insta360 recommends at max 2 to 3 people for optimal results. Now the Link 2 doesn't get all the love when it comes to tracking. Even though the 2C doesn't have a gimbal, it has something new on it that we haven't seen before on any Link, and that's auto framing using AI. So how it works is by cropping in on the image, and it uses intelligent zoom to keep you or everyone, if you're in a group, in frame. And it also supports all of the same hand gestures as the Link 2, so you can easily zoom in or zoom out or start and stop auto framing. Now, just like on the Link 2, Insta360 recommends a max of 2 to 3 people if you're doing group auto framing, simply because you're going to get better results. Now, going back to the Link 2 for a minute, there is a new feature when it comes to its tracking capabilities, and that's called Pause Track Area. So how it works is simple. You define your presentation space with customizable tracking fences. Then you set boundaries where the webcam will stop tracking, giving you flexibility to move within an area and only be in frame when you want to be. And then when you re-enter a tracking area, it will automatically resume. Now let's talk about something really fun. Modes and versatility, because these two cameras are incredibly versatile. For instance, you can easily go into portrait mode with both of these cameras. And this is the quality of vertical or 9:16 video from the Insta360 2 and 2C. And I gotta say, looking at the monitor right here, it looks really good. This is perfect for social media. Now, there's a couple different ways you can create vertical content using the Link 2 and 2C. My favorite way is to get a small tripod and screw it into the bottom of one of these magnets, the bases, because they have 1/4 threads, and then you just rotate the head of that tripod like you see here, and then make sure you go into the Link controller app and enable 9:16 mode in 4K, and now you're taking advantage of the full sensor and you're getting very detailed 4K portrait or vertical video. Now, the 9:16 mode isn't exclusive to the Link controller app. You can also use it in your favorite streaming software like OBS. Same thing with the hand gestures and tracking. Now, I have used these cameras for a FaceTime call, and I was able to take advantage of the bokeh mode, tracking, and all that. All you have to do is go into your system settings and make sure you select the virtual camera as your primary camera, and now all of your FaceTime calls will use the Link 2 or 2C. And you can do tracking, you can do the gestures, you could do the whiteboard mode, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and you can get that bokeh effect, giving you a DSLR looking video chat, which is fantastic. This also goes for all the major video conferencing platforms out there like Microsoft Teams, WebEx, Google Meet. There's a list on the Insta360 website if you feel like checking that out. Another feature that's been carried over from the Link 1 but has been improved on the 2 and 2C is the desktop view mode. Let's begin with the Link 2. So the Link 2 will automatically tilt down to capture an overhead view of your desk. It's perfect for doing sketches, drawings, or coming up with blueprints for a concept that you're working on and you're sharing it with the team, or even doing an unboxing live or recording it through OBS for YouTube. Now, you might get some distortion when using desk view mode as it uses horizon leveling. This is completely normal. A way to reduce this is to not tilt your laptop screen back more than 100 degrees. Now, one thing I found in my testing is that since both the Link 2 and 2C have magnetic tilting mounts, if you take the Link 2 and tilt it forward almost 90 degrees and don't turn on desk view mode, you can actually get a desk view shot without any distortion whatsoever. And you can adjust the angle inside the Link controller app in order to get more of your desk in frame if it's not perfectly aligned the way that you want it to be. Now, speaking of that magnetic tilting mount, that's exactly how you're able to get desk view mode on the Link 2C. You just tilt the 2C forward and then put on desk view mode inside the Link controller app, and voila. Now you can do desk view on the Link 2C. Now, when it comes to privacy, the Link 2 and 2C handle things a little bit differently. If you're a more physical person and you want something directly in front of that shutter, then the Link 2C might be the one for you. Because with this little switch on the side, once you press it down, it actually closes up the camera and it's not seeing anything. There's a physical shutter in front of that camera. Now, when it comes to the Link 2, it will automatically enter privacy mode after 10 seconds of an activity, which is great because if you forget to put your camera in privacy mode, it's automatically going to do it versus other cameras on the market that you have to physically put into that mode. Now, if you're a manual kind of person, you can take the Link 2 and just tilt the camera down to manually put it into privacy mode. You'll see a privacy mode prompt pop up on your screen to let you know, hey, the camera's in privacy mode. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is controlling these cameras. Obviously, you can control everything from the Insta360 controller app on your computer, whether you have a PC or a Mac, but you can also control these cameras through a physical button. So on the Link 2, you have a little circle right here at the bottom of the base. If you do a single press on that, it's going to start AI tracking. If you do a double tap, then it is going to recenter the camera. Now on the Link 2C, you have this area right here. If you do a double tap, it's going to zoom in 1.5 times. Now, of course, this is on top of all of the hand gestures that we talked about, but you can also control these cameras using your smartphone. All you have to do is tap on the little symbol inside the Link controller app. You'll see it in the top right corner. You'll scan the QR code with your phone, and from there, you can control these cameras using your smartphone. You can easily pan or tilt these cameras. You can start tracking. You can do pretty much all the same stuff that you can inside the Link controller app. So you have a lot of different ways to control the Link 2 and 2C, and I find that to be very functional because it just adds to the versatility aspect of these cameras. So let me know your thoughts on the Link 2 and 2C down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos just like this, and I'll see you beautiful people in the next one.